Alright, so this is ASC's Scratch. This is the dog that defines what it means to be an American Sentinel. And for those of you that don't know what Sentinel means, Google it if you like, but it means guardian, okay? If you watch some of the movies about superheroes, maybe the X-Men or something like that, or the Transformers or something like that, you'll see them talk about Sentinels. Sentinels are guardians. That's what the word means. And the American Sentinel is bred to be a family companion guardian. In a lot of our videos, you see the intense side, the high drive side, where the dogs clearly show they're comfortable in combat, but you don't always see the companion side. And to be a family companion guardian, you have to be a companion. And this dog is a major sweetheart, aren't you, buddy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are, aren't you? Yes, you are. All right, so this dog is full of emotion, loves affection, and loves to give it as much as he does take it. So anyway, this is Scratch. And let's see what else. They are oftentimes used as hunting dogs for hog catch work, but that is a secondary goal. It's not the primary goal. The primary goal is to be a family companion guardian. And I mention that because right now with Bidenomics, our economy is pretty rough for some people, and we can see it. I don't know anybody that thinks that the economy is good right now. The stock market is hitting some pretty good crashes, and as a result of tough times that we're in and tough times to come, I'm pretty confident that crime is going to be on the rise. You know, crime has dropped and dropped and dropped, and times have been good in the past, but it's probably fixing to take a change with the way things are headed. Stock market going down, the amount of unemployment. People don't want to work as hard as they should for an honest day's pay. It's just a sign of the times, I guess you could say. And as a result of that, the importance of an American Sentinel is going to be bigger and better than ever. But that's a sad, unfortunate benefit, I guess you could say, of having an American Sentinel. Nobody wants crime to go up, but I imagine that that's going to be the case. Our program has been doing great. I've been breeding these dogs for 23 years, studying the Bandog type dog for another 10 years prior to that, and we used second to none for our foundations. I mean, if you go back and study the foundations that we used a lot of Sorrel's blood. We've got a little bit of Hammond's blood. We've got a little bit of Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone blood, which is Mayday. Be careful about the Mayday stuff. It's been really watered down. It was the flavor of the month, so to speak, where it just got bred based off of pedigree, and people weren't really doing the performance testing that they should have been doing. So that's a bloodline that can be great when you find a good one, but it's one to be suspect of because people were breeding those dogs just to try to peddle them, and it was an unfortunate thing because when you diverge from the objective over time, the amount of distance between the original and the new is going to be significant. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're going to drive to Washington State from Mississippi or from Florida, but you're just off 1 degree, which doesn't sound like much. Next thing you know, you're going to miss Washington. And small changes with the objective over time can lead to drastic changes. And so this is why it's very important that when you're selecting a dog, you deal with individuals that are performance testing every generation to refine and improve those traits, and not to diverge from them, but to make the desired traits stronger, not weaker, not to make them more focused and more consistent and concentrated, and not lost or disappear, extinct. So anyway, this is what the American Sentinel is about. This is my dog Scratch, who he really is the apex of our program. His daughter, Lady Smith, is another awesome individual. His brother Boomer, another awesome individual. So I sigh because right now I'm struggling with some tough decisions that I'm going to have to make. We have 32 dogs, and 12 of them are American Pit Bull Terriers, which I preserve to maintain the Sorrel's bloodline. Bert Sorrel's passed away. Madison Parker's getting up there in years. Mickey Smith is getting up there in years. and a lot of the people that were breeding the sorrel's blood had started outcrossing them, and they were losing the true product that Bert Sorrells worked hard to produce. And because those that were staying true to the line were starting to fade away and disappear, I noticed the people that had them were outcrossing. So what did I do? I tried to jump in and save that line, and I got some proven working dogs from Madison, and I got some purebred Sorrells dogs from Mickey Smith, and I used those pure working, the pure line from Mickey and the performance proven from Madison, brought them together to really preserve that line and bring it back to where it needs to be. And we're doing that. We're doing a great job of that. But it's not really a gauntlet that I want to carry. I want to really focus on the American Sentinel, and I kept the Sorrells line alive for that objective, to preserve the American Sentinel. But it's taking up 12 space in my program, seats that could be preserved or better used, I guess you could say, by the American Sentinel itself. So I've thought about taking those Sorrells dogs and go ahead and cross them all into the American Sentinel, and then getting rid of the Sorrells dogs. But it's just a real struggle, and it creates a lot of stress, because you know that every individual that you lose is potentially lost forever. And so if I do get rid of those Sorrells dogs, they got to go to somebody that's going to keep them alive, and I just don't know anybody that I can trust to preserve that line. Of course, if it's lost, I guess you could say so be it. I need to focus on my goal, my primary goal, which is the American Sentinel. But then again, I like the Sorrells line. I do think the American Sentinel is a better dog when you have individuals like this. They can do everything the Sorrells dogs can do. Plus, they're bigger and more loyal. And by loyal, the Sorrells dogs, don't get me wrong, they are very affectionate. The reason they're my favorite American Pit Bull Terriers is because they have such a great personality, and they're very malleable. You can excel with those dogs in pretty much any task that you want to. But the American Sentinel is not so friendly with strangers. They're super affectionate with their family. Look at that. Right when I start talking about it, he's up in my face. And that's the way these dogs are. And the Sorrells dogs are like this too. But the Sorrells dogs are also times friendly with other people as well. You'll notice the animal control will talk about how dangerous some dogs are, and then they drive up in their vans and they steal not just the stuff on the property, but they steal the dogs themselves, which tell you those dogs are not really human aggressive as much as the animal control would like to portray them to be. Or not animal control, but humane societies and PETA groups that really target the American Pit Bull Terrier because of the types of people that are involved with them and what they use them for. But anyway, this is what we're about right here. The American Sentinel is about a family companion guardian. Yes, they do hog hunt work, but they're about being a family companion guardian. Stress every day when I'm walking the yard and looking at dogs saying, do you deserve to be here, or do I need to let you go? And if you do deserve to be here, would it be best if I go ahead and breed you in now so I can move you on down the line and keep your progeny that are crossed into the American Sentinel program? Or what? And I don't want 50 dogs. I don't want 100 dogs. I like to keep my numbers down low enough that I can have relationships with each one of them. And so that is stressful. And when I let a dog go, because of the amount of work that I've got in it, it's hard to let one go to a person that just wants something for nothing. They don't understand the amount of work that's gone into creating these dogs or preserving these dogs, and it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep doing what I do, but it is stressful, and I just thought I'd share some of those thoughts. That I sigh, and I'm not real organized in this video because it's stressful. You know, every dog I get rid of or keep has to be a move that's made diligently and intelligently, or the program is in jeopardy. And I would like to have just American Sentinels, and really maybe a couple of American Pit Bull Terriers, but not many. I really don't want 12. 2 or 3 would be plenty if I had the right 2 or 3 and had their the other 10 already infused into the Sentinel program, because that's what they're here for. They are here to preserve the Sentinel program, the ultimate canine family companion guardian that can do anything a pit bull can do, but it's bigger and stronger, more durable, and more loyal. That's what these dogs are about. If you look at history, you'll see the best protection dogs that ever existed are almost always between 80 and 100 pounds, maybe 70 and 100 pounds. You know, the Malinois, they're smaller, they're more agile, they're more mobile, they're easy to carry with you, and that's why they're patrol dogs. But they're not as good as a home protector as a dog like this. This dog has much more power and much more intensity in combat than a herder. A herder is a herder. It's not a gladiator, okay? They might do gladiator tasks, and they might be very malleable, which means trainable, very cerebral, but we never used any herder in our dogs, because what all do I need from the Sentinel? I need it to sit down, heel, stay, come, engage, and disengage. That's it. And if you look at the weak link of that, the weak link is going to be having a dog engage. So what did I want to do? I want to make sure that weak link is not weak. And so therefore I chose to use gladiator breeds, the breeds that are going to remain engaged with the greatest amount of commitment. And a herder's not that dog. What a herder is cerebral. It's easy to train other things. But I don't need a dog to cook a casserole dinner for Thanksgiving. So how much cerebral do I need? I need enough to teach it to sit down, heel, stay, come, engage, and disengage. That's it. It doesn't have to be super smart. It has to be a super gladiator. It has to be powerful, durable, and reliable in these regards. Anyway, we have some of the best dogs that we've ever had, right now. I mentioned to someone the other day that if you want to know if a program is doing a good job, ask them, how many dogs can you have on your yard? And if they say 10, then ask them, what 10 dogs in history would you like to have on your yard right now? If they say 20, ask them, what 20 dogs in history would you like to have on your yard right now? And if at least half of those dogs that they can name are not on their yard right now already, dogs that they have, then you have to ask, did they do their homework? And are they improving the breed? Because if they choose dogs from history instead of the dogs they got, then either they started with the wrong foundation or they're ruining their foundation. So you really need to start off with some apex individuals and constantly strive to improve. And if you were to ask me, hey Lee, what 32 dogs in history would you like to have on your yard? 25 of them would be dogs that I have right now. The other 7, whatever it would be dogs that I didn't breed when they were young and they were maybe sold, and I wish that I would have bred them. But they weren't bred because they were owned by somebody else. It was a dog I produced and went to somebody else, and I never had the opportunity to breed it, and I wish I would have. That would be the dogs that I would name that I'd like to have, because I think that some of the apex individuals that we sold were certainly very ace caliber individuals. But the vast majority of the dogs that I'd want, dogs that I have right now. Now I do need to get some more video work of some of the stock that we have, but I've seen them perform and do things that we don't always have on video. So it is the way it is. Here, just sharing a few thoughts. It's not all hunky-dory here every day. You know, people think you just want to breed dogs and have pups and peddle the pups and make a bunch of money. That's not the way it works, man. We spend tens of thousands of dollars every year, probably $30,000 to $35,000 a year on dog bills, and so it's an expensive program, and we want to preserve this program. But I have to make some decisions on do the pit bulls deserve to be here? And right now they're here to preserve the Sentinel, and we're doing pit bull to pit bull breeding, quite a few of them actually, because I like a larger game dog that has all the traits of a high quality game dog, but I do want it to be on the larger side. So we've taken some of the smaller ones that we've had and bred them with some of the larger ones that we had to see if we can get that size up in some of those smaller ones. And we don't always do it. You know, sometimes we still have a smaller dog, but as long as it's apex quality, we let them stay. I'm not going to keep a dog for size. It has to be an apex animal, okay? But if we can get those apex animals up in larger size, that would be great. Then I have a couple of small ones on purpose because my wife and my daughter, they have a hard time handling a dog this size. So we let them keep a smaller dog or two. But in time, I do plan on the yard being 100% American Sentinel. When is that going to happen? Could be next year, could be 5 years, could be 10 years, but eventually it's going to happen. All right, well, that's the thoughts for the day. I wanted to give you an update on what's going on. And like I said, we have some great dogs right now. I'm going to find a way to keep some of these individuals that we have off of some of these breedings that are just looking outstanding. But if you are interested in an animal, holler at us and we'll be glad to work with you within reason. You know, don't insult me with a ridiculous price just because the economy's bad. Our bills do not go down, our bills go up. So, but if you're interested in one and you're reasonable, we certainly appreciate your support, and we'll be glad to see you with an American Sentinel, because if the economy's getting tough, you might need one now more than ever. There's a reason. The dog that we breed is very similar to the oldest dogs in history, the gladiators throughout history. Why were dogs domesticated? For hunting and protecting. That's what they're here for. And that's what the American Sentinel's about. Y'all have a blessed day.